Hey, thanks for tuning in the middle of the day to join me. This is a lunch break hip stretching session. I anticipate it's going to take us about 20-ish minutes to get through, and I've designed this in a way where you don't need a bunch of equipment. We're just going to do this standing, pretty much all standing today. You'll probably need a chair, something to help you balance, or you could be next to a wall. Whatever works for you is fine. As always, make sure you're paying attention to what your body tells you. If it feels like it's too much, then it's probably too much. I just want to take one quick second to make sure y'all can hear me and see me. If you are watching this, if you could just drop something in the chat and let me know that you can hear me, see me, and everything. Otherwise, I might just be performing for nobody. Okay, so we're going to start off with some warm-up stuff. Very gentle, very easy. You've probably been sitting around all day, so we're going to be doing some gentle circles. I've got my hands behind my back, so you can see that. Just keeping my chest open, shoulders are back. And we're just gonna go nice and gentle. You might feel some stretch across the front of your chest. All right, I see some movement on the chat screen, so there are people, and I hope that means you can see me, hear and see. All right, perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, Patricia. You are the #1 first in the chat. So then let's reverse the direction. We're heading fast. I just spent the morning doing a whole bunch of funky dance stuff, so in some ways I'm more open, and in other ways I am not. And I'm definitely not open in the chest, in front of shoulders. All right, so just moving that, grooving that. Then we're gonna do some shoulder movements. So arms are just at your side. Just gonna roll them back and forward so you can see the circle I'm drawing with my shoulders. Are these your hips? No. Can they affect your hips? Yeah. So we're just gonna get some blood moving through your body here. And you're gonna bring your arms out to the side. If you wanna be real clever about it, you can tuck your fingers into the palms like that. That just helps keep your wrists a little more stable while you're doing this. It makes sure you're not flopping your hands. And try to keep your arms as even as you can. I know my arms like to do asymmetrical things, but try to keep them even height. If you notice one is like drooping way low, that's cool. You can just meet it at its level, and over time, see if you can get it a little bit higher. Let's go ahead and turn your palms up, thumbs back, and then you're gonna rotate the circle like you're doing a backstroke. If this is exhausting for you, you should be doing this more. And if this is exhausting for you, take it as a sign that you're weak and that you can get a lot stronger. I remember the first time I did these, I was blown away. I think I was in my early 20s and I was blown away at how weak my shoulders were. Just lifting my own arms, right? It's kind of crazy. All right. Then we're going to do a little bit of twisting. So again, keep this just gentle. You're just searching to see what's a little restricted. So you don't need to do this super fast, but you're just twisting. And I feel some things in my spine right now. You might feel them too. I feel some things in my ribs. Just pointing out for me internally where my current limitations are. That can change from day to day. So side to side. For everybody who's watching, let me know where you're watching from. I'm very curious if you guys are on the West Coast with me, if you're on the East Coast. It'll also help me figure out what time to schedule these things. So if you can let me know also where you are and what time these types of live streams might be good for you, I would appreciate that. And, oh yes, next up, So if you want to hold on to something to help you balance, hold on to something, but we're just going to be marching in place. So first we're going to start off just marching knees in front. We're not doing this like a boot camp. We're not doing this to get a huge sweat. So do this with control. Don't rush it. See where you can get. I really want you to pay attention to the top position. How far up is it? And if you're trying to go up higher, do you end up cheating by doing things like that? Do you end up cheating by leaning way back? Do you have some funky body English that you do to try to make it feel like it's getting higher? Try to just lock your body in place and just march, okay? You might find that as you do this, a little blood gets flowing into your legs and hips and that you can get a little bit higher, which would be great. But you're not going to get that if you're just kind of rushing through it and ignoring the restrictions that are there. Okay, then we're going to adjust a little bit. You're going to go out wide. So you're facing forward, your hips are facing forward, but the knees are out to the side. Probably something many of you haven't been doing. But it could be really helpful, right? If you want to be able to kick somebody in the face who's standing next to you, you got to be able to lift that leg out to the side. Otherwise, they'll see it coming because you'll have to turn and face them, right? So whack, man. That's the last time you take my cup of coffee. All right. So then we're going to go into the calf raises. So very simple. This you probably will need to hold on to a wall or a chair. You're just going to be going up and down. So you can see lifting the heels up. If you want to make this a bigger range of motion, you can lean against the wall or chair and let your feet and heels go more into dorsiflexion. And just warm those up a little bit. All we're doing is pumping some blood through your body. Since you've been sitting most likely at least half of a day, if not the whole day, depending on where you are watching this from. I wonder if there's anyone from overseas. Okay, and I'm just gonna kick that out a little bit. That's not on the list, but I wanted to do that. All right, let me take a quick note. Look here, McKinney, Texas, Toronto, East Coast. Uh-oh. Oh no, screen froze. I'm seeing people saying that the screen is frozen. Uh-oh. Oh no, we got a freeze here. What do we do? Let's see if we can get this fixed, huh? Hopefully, maybe. Oh boy. Well, I wonder, can y'all hear me? Uh-oh. And I think it's maybe working again, huh? Hopefully you can hear me. Camera now looks like it might be working. All right. Fantastic timing. I am sorry. All right, there we go. I think it's working again, and let's hope it keeps working. So if you guys missed some things, we did some marching in place. I think I can monitor the screen now, and I will know when it freezes the next time if I look at the correct screen. If you guys only knew how complicated setting this up is. All right, we are moving again. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so warm-ups, we did some marching. I hope you were able to see some of that. Then we're doing some calf raises. Nice and easy like so. Nothing too strenuous, just trying to get you a little bit warmer, all right? so nothing too crazy. Now, we're gonna do some stretches and some activation work, and you'll get to learn how these things combine in an effective way. So we're gonna do a inner thigh, groin, kind of hamstringy stretch. So I just made a video about this. You can lean against the wall, you can lean against a chair, and you're going to be hinging, so bending forward a little bit at the hips, and then biasing to one side. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Just gonna demonstrate this a couple times so you can see some different angles, okay? And I'm gonna be going to my right side when we first start this, okay? So we're gonna do this for 1 minute. Oops, yeah. Structured repeats. So we're gonna be doing these for a nice 90 seconds per side. So here we go. So we're going off to the side here, and we're just gonna get into that. Use whatever help you need to feel safe and comfortable. Please tell me that it didn't freeze again. It froze again. My goodness. I think it's back. Are we back? Tell me we're back. I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I don't like technology. But I'm glad you guys are here with me. So we're hanging out. The timer's still going. If you already started, let's go ahead and hold this position. Keep going. Just want you to breathe. And I gotta maybe just keep moving like this so I can see if the screen is frozen. All right. 30 more seconds. If your bent knee gets really tired, you can come out of it, it's fine. But you should feel a bunch of stretch on this side, on that straight leg side. It's gonna be in your groin, high hamstrings, adductors. Almost there. And go ahead and ease on out of that. Got 30 seconds of rest. Just gonna check on the chat. Didn't freeze, not frozen. Okay, good, good, good. Thank you everybody for checking in and letting me know what's going on. I see we got people from Colorado, Texas. Somebody's playing, Nathaniel is playing a game. All right, going to the other side. I don't know how you can play a game and stretch at the same time. But kudos to you. That takes a lot of skill. But you would get more out of your stretches if you weren't playing the game at the same time. So something I've learned now that I'm getting deeper into my 40s is that focusing on what you're doing makes what you're doing a lot more effective. And multitasking is a hard habit for me to break, but it's definitely worth doing, because when I focus on one thing, I feel a whole lot better in so many ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of them. So this should be all on that right hip, the right inner thigh, right high hamstrings. Only go as deep as you can go while still feeling comfortable and in control, please. All right, take a rest, 30-second rest, and we're opening things up here. We are going to then build a little bit of strength in that position. So there we're just kind of breathing, relaxing. This time we're gonna go into the side, and don't go as deep. Just go to where you feel like this leg is working, okay? So we're gonna head over to this side now. Let's go. And you're just gonna hold this position. It shouldn't be a big stretch here. You're just gonna build a little strength on this side. Notice if you're cheating to maintain this, like maybe you're starting to hunch your back, or maybe you're super arching your back. Just notice what your body is trying to do to make this more manageable, and then maybe give yourself a little bit of help and try to focus more on these leg muscles working. We're not going to do the full minute and a half on this because that would be cruel and unusual, but we're going to do about a minute. So we're just getting this leg to burn. If you're more advanced and you feel like you've got a little more room, you got the control, it feels safe, you can go a little deeper and get a slight stretch here and then feel that working as well. So you're kind of you're sharing the load. But we don't have to go there yet. And go ahead and relax. And then we're going to take a little rest, take a breather. We're going to do the other side. Again, use help if you need it. Your right leg, right thigh should be burning because it was holding a 1 minute position. All right, let's get ready. Let's shift over to this side. Find a height that feels doable. Feels like this leg is gonna have to work a decent amount. If you want the extra challenge, you can get to a stretch point on this side, put some pressure into the floor with this foot, right? So this is helping hold you up, this is helping hold you up. So you're creating tension in the knee muscles and those groin muscles. Or just focus on this, whatever works, okay? We've got about 15, 20 more seconds here. If you want to get funky, do some dance moves, get your arms going. All right, let's go ahead and bring ourselves out of that. Take a little breather. We're going to set up for a little hip flexor stretch. So again, something to help you balance if you want it. We're going to have one foot way, way back. You're going to squeeze the butt cheek here. You're going to feel the stretch on the front here. When you're doing this, I don't want you to go to a position where you are super out of control, where you feel like your spine is going into like a heavy arch unintentionally. So if you need to bring the feet closer together, do that. Please don't be afraid to use help. It does actually make a big difference for getting your stability here. The back knee can be slightly bent, can be straighter. You play around with what gives you the most challenge to the front of your hip. Okay, so here we go. Let's get set. My left leg is back and timer starts now. We're doing the full 90 seconds on this. So squeezing that butt cheek, that's gonna help stabilize the pelvis. It's gonna help you feel a little more of that stretch across the front of your hip. If you want some options, you can add some twisting. Go that way, that way. You can intentionally arch, right? Arch your body back. Just watch for what your body is doing unintentionally, right? Every movement should be because you specifically decided to do it. It shouldn't be something that happened that you weren't aware of. Okay, that's probably one of the biggest keys to freeing your hips, freeing your shoulders, freeing anything. Looks like we're still not frozen, which is fantastic. It would be wonderful if I knew why the feed froze in the first place. the world may never know. But in case you're ever live streaming, the solution is to unplug the camera. All right, then we're going to come out of that. 30 seconds of rest. We're going to do the right leg this time. Put this here. Is everybody still with me? All right. I think a workout chat is probably going to be the quietest chat on the internet. All right, so we're going to have a right foot back. 1 and 0. Here we go. Butt cheek is squeezed, active. This is something that I was not always personally very militant about and vigilant about. And that actually led to some issues for me. So this right butt cheek in particular likes to just shut off. And I've spent the last, I'd say 2 months, really working to wake it back up. It's in the last week, it's been much, much, much better, but it really shut off because I wasn't really paying attention to it. And then it led to some SI joint stuff. I mean, there's a confluence of factors, but not being mindful, not paying attention was really like, that's at the core of it, right? And if you're not paying attention to what your body needs, you're not feeding it the movements it needs, you're not exploring, you're not trying to find the nourishing movements, your body will not be nourished. And then it will be hungry, and it will ache. And it will tell you to pay attention. It's a pretty incredible system, especially once you really start getting to know it. All right, so let's take 30 seconds rest. This next one, now that we've kind of opened up the front, we're going to be doing a little thing called a donkey kick, but I want you to keep the knee bent as much as you can, and you're going to be lifting up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to get hip extension. Be gentle about this because there's a high probability you get a cramp if you go too far, too fast. So don't push it. Here we go. My low back. I'm not arching my low back heavy. I'm trying to keep it as neutral as I can. Trying to lift that knee up as high as I can without giving myself a debilitating cramp. So your hamstrings might get very involved here because they're curling the leg, curling the knee. You're also wanting to feel that butt cheek firing. So you're trying to get that up there, hold it up there. You can poke at your own butt with your fingers, make sure it's firing. When you're in this position, you might feel some stretch here, right? Because the quads are being lengthened while the hamstrings and the glutes are firing to get you into hip extension. If you find that you get a lot of arch in your lumbar spine, you feel like your belly button is dropping towards the floor, getting your elbows, your forearms lower might be helpful. Bending this knee to really tuck yourself in so the spine can't participate can be helpful. And just make sure you don't rush this. Try to feel the muscles working and feel for when the muscles kind of cut out. I just noticed a spot like right here where the muscles kind of want to wobble and compensate. All right, so then 30 seconds rest. I'm going to switch legs. Still not frozen? Excellent. The summer heat is keeping this stream hot. All right, so this side again. And if you notice that your sides are in some way very different, don't be alarmed. Don't be surprised. That is a common thing. All right, here we go again. Up. Just don't go so high that you give yourself a horrible hamstring cramp. I've done it before. If it happens to you, just try to stay calm, breathe. I promise you won't die. but it is very uncomfortable when it happens. Which for many people, when you have weak hamstrings, it happens. So I'm sorry. You've also been sitting on your butt and hamstrings all day or half the day, depending on where you are. So those muscles are going to be like, what are we doing? This is the time of day we take a break from sitting at the screen to sitting somewhere else while we eat before we go back to sitting at the screen. So working these muscles can be real helpful for your balance, for stability, for athleticism, for being able to go upstairs comfortably, and for keeping your butt, your hamstrings happy after sitting all day long. Otherwise they atrophy and things get real painful. Oh, let's go ahead and relax. All right. We're going to take a minute to do some hip flexion. We're going to do some bowing. So just so we're clear, when you're doing hip flexion, you're thinking about a hinge here. Okay, so we're trying to just work on our bows, pretend you've got a trip plan for Japan, and you want to practice bowing to people. Okay, so wherever you want to put your hands that makes this feel natural is fine. You can put them right here in the crease. That can help you cue it a little bit better. You can feel where you're supposed to fold. You might want to have your hands on the thighs and just slide them down your legs. If you want to have them free floating, that's fine too. This can give you a little bit of a shoulder workout, help you open your chest a little bit. Wherever you want to put them is fine. So we're going to be sliding down, folding, whatever you want to do for a minute and a half here. And here we go. So as you're going down, I want you to make sure that your spine does not do something that you don't intend. If you are intentionally doing this for some specific reason, that's fine. But otherwise, I want you to focus on feeling the stuff. You can keep your weight pretty much balanced front to back. So it's not like your weight is all in your heels, and it's not all in your toes. If you feel the urge to shift in some way, notice that. See what happens when you don't give in to that. You'll probably find that there are some muscle fibers that are really complaining when you don't give in to the compensation. And if you feel like one side is very different from the other side, don't be surprised. That's something you can work on probably in a future workout. We'll do some single leg stuff. You can look for some of my videos on touching your toes. I'm sure I've covered stuff about this before. And whatever you do, don't rush it. Don't try to impress anybody. Nobody can see you. They can only see me right now. All right, back up. Then we're going to work on the outer hips. So this can be a lot more comfortable and stable next to a wall, but a chair works just fine. You just are on the side of your foot. If you have thick shoes, why do you have thick shoes? But if you have thick shoes, this is more comfortable than doing them with thin-soled shoes like I'm doing. So you're basically on the side of the foot. This front leg is just helping you stabilize. This arm is helping you stabilize. And you're bringing the hips down and over. So you're going to feel a stretch along the side here. Depending on how much pressure and the angle, you might feel it more Above the pelvis, above the waistline, you might feel like kind of like belly fascia, belly stuff stretching. See if you can aim it more towards the hip. So around the pocket here, below the waistband, somewhere around there. It's not bad to stretch out the stuff around your belly and your abdominals. Totally fine, but right now, just see if you can aim it into the outer hip muscles, okay? So let's get that started. All right. Nope. Hey, remember how Matt said he didn't like technology? Yeah. It's still true. 10 minutes later, it's still true. Let me oh, come on. Anyway, you guys keep doing the stretch while I fight with my watch. I'm gonna put a minute on here now. All right. So outer hip. If you shift your hips forward, you might feel a little more of the stretch on the front of this outer hip. If you shift your hips back, you might feel a little more going on the posterior part of your outer hip. So play around, shift around. And when you find that magic position, enjoy it. Because I just found mine. All right. Ease out of that. I'm going to do the other side here. So make sure your chair cannot slide away. If you got a wall, sit up on the wall. And just focus on getting that outer hip again. Right, and let's go. Ooh, this side feels a little bit more wobbly. All right. So stretching out. Again, if you squeeze that butt cheek, you might find gives you a little more stretch on the front outer hip. That's creating more hip extension. It's bringing your hips forward. It's going to help you stretch that out a little bit more. If you go back, you might get a nice one. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's got my attention right there. Another 30 seconds. All right, nice. Go ahead and relax a little bit. Let me explain this next thing. So now I'm going to activate inner thigh muscles. So we're setting up as if we were doing that same exact stretch, but we're going to focus on lifting this leg. So we're not stretching the outer hip so much as we're just trying to lift and hover that leg off of the ground. Okay, so you might not dive so deep into this. You might still be a little more upright, or maybe you get a lot more weight into your arm, and then you're trying to lift like this. Okay? So, we're going to do that for a minute. You don't have to hold it for a minute, but just work on going up, down, hold the position, and bring it back down. Okay, and here we go. So when you're doing this, if you hold too long and you really fatigue it, you might get a pretty nasty cramp in the inner thighs. That's definitely on par with the hamstring cramp. So be mindful. You don't need to impress me. I can't see you. So if you're taking a rest, like, I'm not gonna know. Nobody else is gonna know. Just listen to what your body says. If your body says, yeah, let's keep going, go for it. If your body says, I don't know, then take a little rest. That's cool. You can kind of open up a little bit. We're just trying to give ourselves different options. You can explore these, but make sure your explorations are intentional, that they're not just compensations. I'm going to bring my foot here. All right. Take a little rest, get ready for this other side. And we're almost done with our workout today, if you can believe it. I have another live stream coming up. I'll tell you some info on that in a sec. Let's get ready for this. Here we go, lifting. Trying to feel those inner thigh muscles working. After this, we got one more exercise. If you think you know what it is, keep it to yourself. Don't ruin the surprise. Play around here. All right, and take a rest. So just let your hips and legs recover here. There will be a live stream on Friday for my Prime Mover members on YouTube. And also I think it'll work for the Patreon subscribers on the top tier. So we're gonna talk about some interesting patterns of things that lead to pain. It's something that I noticed, again, now that I'm in my 40s. I'm seeing some life patterns, and I'm going to talk about those on Friday morning. So if you want to join me, please join me. And I may be able to squeeze in another public live stream this Thursday. Time to be determined. So just check the community feed. If you're not on my email list, you should get on that. uprighthealth.com/BRB will get you access to my free course, and you will get emails about live streams, or check on Facebook. I'll try to post these things everywhere, but there should be a members only one on Friday, and then another one on Thursday. All right, so this one is the squat. Okay, if you need help from the chair, use the chair. Otherwise, you're just gonna go down as low as you can control comfortably, and then come back up. Okay, if you're using the chair, you're here. Pay attention for any wobbles. Pay attention for anywhere your hips or your legs try to like push you into a funny position to avoid something that's weak. It's super valuable information, so really watch for it. And what am I talking about? Well, sometimes when you're going down, you might feel yourself shift, like you'll shift around a weak point. Pay attention to those. Park in those areas. Get a little more strength there. Okay, we're gonna do this for 1 minute at your own pace. You wanna do one long one, it's cool. You wanna do 3 medium ones, that's cool too. But look for those spots where your body says, let's cheat. Come up a little bit, hang out there, feel the right muscles working. When it feels like, that's good enough, then you can come up out of it. Come back down when you feel ready. Get in there. Especially as you get lower, it's a lot easier for you to just kind of give in to the cheats. So really take your time and pay attention to what the muscles are doing to get you down to that bottom position. Are they throwing you way back? Are they busting your knees way out wide? Do they shift your weight onto your heels? You want to have options that you are in control of. You don't want your muscles to tell you, this is what you're doing. All right, that was 1 minute, but we're gonna go off script and go just a little bit longer because it feels good. Just a little longer, another 10 seconds. Also try to keep your spine a little more straight as curling here. All right, that's it. Get yourself back up. All right. That was a workout. Your hips, your legs, even a little bit during the warm-ups, upper body. Just got a nice little workout. Hopefully, that felt good for you. It felt good for me. Just want to open it up. A couple questions for you guys. When do these live streams make sense for you? When should they be? What kind of workouts are you looking for? And then questions that you can ask me, just random questions. I think I'm probably going to take maybe maximum of 3 questions, and then we are going to be out because it's almost 1:15. You should be getting back to work. If you got any questions, let me hear them. Let me see them. I'll wait for the lag. And maybe, just maybe, the questions will come flooding in. What was I going to say? Oh, right, on Friday. So that Friday members only stream, that one's about painful patterns. Something, I'm going to provide a link on the community tab on YouTube. So let me do that. YouTube community tab. I'm going to post it to Facebook also. And I'm going to try to send it to my email list so that everybody gets it. And then hopefully you all will be able to join me. And I'll also have one on Thursday. All right, well, this is actually the quietest chat I've seen ever. I almost feel like something must be broken, but nobody has any questions, then I appreciate you guys having been here with me and watching and doing the workout with me. Hopefully you guys are feeling good. Is chat broken? There's a bunch of you here. Oh, well, thank you, Mildred, for your comment. These are so helpful for my replaced hips. They've been so weak and I hadn't realized it until I tried to do different things. That's a wonderful piece of wisdom to share. And thank you for saying that, because that's true whether you have replaced hips or not. That's true for my hips as well. When you stop exploring to see what they can do, when you groove in the same patterns over and over again, you end up losing functions because you didn't realize you had them to begin with, and then you're never testing them. So then when somebody actually says, hey, can you lift your own leg? The answer is no, because you haven't done it in a while. So that's, I think having these types of classes, these workouts together is good for you and it's good for me. It keeps us all accountable. So definitely keep exploring. If you have replaced hips or the original equipment, you still need to do the exploration to keep those things strong. Teeny is asking, will these live streams be saved? I think yes, they are automatically saved and are available on YouTube. And hopefully the freezing problems will not reoccur, but now I know how to fix them quickly, so I'm sorry that the warm-ups this time froze for a while. Hopefully we won't have that issue again. Now I need 4 screens running at one time to make sure things are working. And let's see, in Kunti L stack, I have a back stenosis. Is there a special exercise for it? I will answer that by saying ATM, always think muscles, number 1. A lot of people have back stenoses, and they won't, if you take 2 people with the same, same stenosis, their abilities could be completely different, and the exercises that feel good for them could be completely different. And so my approach to anything related to how your body moves and feels is to explore what your body is capable of and what your specific needs are. The orthopedic diagnoses focus on a image, right? Generally it's like an image. It's this is clearly broken, but the images don't correlate to movement issues. They don't correlate to pain. They don't give you enough information to do something productive. So I always encourage people to ATM, always think muscles, because the muscles move your bones. Whether something is shaped a little different, maybe something's bigger, something's smaller, like you can't control that unless you are going to have a carpenter go in and start whacking away and hacking at bone. You're not going to change any of that. What you can change is the muscle function and how the muscles move the bones relative to one another, right? So if I had like cranial humeral impingement, right? Like, I don't know what's wrong, doctor. Like my humerus and my cranium constantly impact in painful ways. You're not going to fix this by shaving down my bones, right? You're going to cut off my humerus. Like, it's silly to even think that, because you can tell, like, yeah, obviously you're moving the bones into contact with each other. But when we start talking about like bones that are right next to each other, we say, oh, well, yeah, their bones are just misshapen and that's why they hit each other, or that's why they're doing something wrong. Well, just because they're closer together doesn't mean that the muscles are not part of the equation. And in my opinion, a huge part of the equation, but I'm not a medical doctor, so my opinion is just a personal, non-medical opinion and should not be taken as medical advice. And yeah, thank you for that question from the Netherlands. Glad you could join us. Kunti and Linda, would you kindly demonstrate the position you are asking us to demonstrate? I don't know what that means. Demonstrate the position you're asking us to demonstrate. I'm not sure what that means. Linda, maybe if you could clarify that in the comments. I might see that later and I can follow up on that in a future live stream. And Kunti, I'm glad you enjoyed that cross leg thing. It's so nice for the outer hips and the inner thighs. All right, guys, it is now 1:20. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope I will see you at the next live stream so we can work out together. Drop in the comments whatever other body parts you want to be working on. I'm thinking just going all over the place. Shoulders, hips, everything from beginner to advanced. Hopefully you'll be there with me on this journey. I appreciate you watching. And yeah, as always,